Did you get that feeling in 2025? You're scrolling through movie listings, looking for what's new, and you just think, wait a second, where is everybody? Well, if you did, you were not imagining things. Something was definitely up in Hollywood. So let's get into it.
I mean, this was the question on every movie fan's mind. It felt like an entire generation of our biggest stars, from superheroes to serious dramatic actors, just took the year off. So what happened? Were they all on some secret group vacation? Did we miss the memo?
Well, the answer is actually way more interesting. See, 2025 wasn't an empty year at all. It was a preparation year. And that's the key. What felt like a total void was really just Hollywood taking a huge, deep breath before an absolutely massive plunge.
So to figure this whole thing out, we're going to crack open a few case files on some of the most famous faces that went missing. Starting with, one of the biggest movie stars on the entire planet.
For decades, you could pretty much always count on seeing Johnny Depp in a movie or two every year. But recently, after a pretty public and messy few years, his work has been, well, different. His last role before 2025 was actually voicing a puffin in an animated movie. And then, for a whole year, radio silence.
And this right here perfectly shows the pattern we're about to see over and over again. That big blank space in 2025, that wasn't a break, it was production time. He was busy filming a new movie called Day Drinker with Penelope Cruz. And he's also set to play Scrooge in a new Christmas Carol for 2026. The pirate was just busy charting his next course.
Okay, next up, Ryan Gosling. After the absolute phenomenon that was Barbie and the awesome action of The Fall Guy in 2024, Ken just vanished. No new movies, no one spotted him on a set. Did he just decide to beach for a while?
But here's the thing with Gosling. This is actually pretty normal for him. He takes his time, he picks his projects very carefully. I mean, just look at that 4-year gap between First Man and The Gray Man. His 2025 absence was just him gearing up for his next massive movie, the sci-fi epic Project Hail Mary. He wasn't gone. He was getting ready for liftoff.
And this brings us to a really major trend, especially for the actors who spent the last decade wearing capes and saving the universe. Turns out that is exhausting work.
Just take the original architects of the MCU. After his incredible Oscar-winning role in Oppenheimer, Robert Downey Jr. went quiet again in 2025. He was taking a much-needed break before his rumored return in Avengers Doomsday. And it's the same for Chris Hemsworth. He slowed down his acting schedule after Furiosa to focus on producing his show Limitless. Both of them are just recharging before they have to assemble all over again.
And it's not just them either. Ryan Reynolds kind of switched gears from acting to producing. He was busy expanding his soccer empire with Welcome to Wrexham and a new series on the Coxa. And then there's Tom Holland, who, after years of a relentless Spidey schedule, took the entire year off. Seriously, his only appearance on screen in all of 2025, a 2-minute Lego commercial.
But do not mistake that little break for a slowdown. Oh no, because in 2026, he is coming back with a vengeance. He's starring in Christopher Nolan's massive epic, The Odyssey, on July 17th, and then Spider-Man Brand New Day, just 2 weeks later on July 31st. Yeah, July of 2026 is officially the month of Tom Holland.
And this is where all the clues start to connect. Why were so many huge stars missing? Well, because a lot of them were actually in the same place, all working on the same handful of gigantic movies that are about to define 2026.
So we just mentioned Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, right? Well, get this. Its filming schedule, which ran from February to August to 2025, single-handedly explains the absence of 3 massive stars, Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Lupita Nyong'o. Just one movie shoot took 3 A-listers completely off the board for the entire year.
And you see this pattern again and again. You have Karen Gillan, who was in 4 different things in 2024, then completely vanished in 2025, and Henry Cavill also coming off a busy 2024. So where were they? They were off filming the Highlander reboot, together. I guess there can be only one reason for their absence, and it was this movie.
And the list just keeps going. Christian Bale was totally off-screen getting ready to play Frankenstein's monster in The Bride. Vin Diesel was juggling pre-production for not 1, not 2, but 3 different franchise sequels. And Zendaya, on top of making The Odyssey, was also working on Dune Part 3 and Season 3 of Euphoria. It is going to be a huge year for her.
But for our last case file, the reason for the absence isn't about getting ready for the next big role. No, this one is about choosing to step away from the whole machine entirely.
Emma Watson hasn't been in a movie since 2019. And this quote really gets to the heart of why. For her, the acting part is freeing, but the endless, relentless cycle of promotion that comes with it is, in her own words, soul-crushing. That's a really powerful and honest thing to admit about being a huge star.
So, what's she been doing instead? Living her life. She enrolled at Oxford to get a master's degree, she co-owns a business with her brother, and she's just enjoying being a person, not a product that needs to be promoted. It's a great reminder that not every absence is the calm before the storm. Sometimes it's just calm.
So, when you put all the evidence together, the case of the missing movie stars becomes pretty clear. 2025 wasn't a void. It wasn't some kind of crisis. It was actually the exact opposite.
It was a loading screen, a whole year spent building the epic blockbusters, the passion projects, and the sequels that are all about to explode onto our screens. All of that quiet? That was just the sound of Hollywood getting ready for a very, very loud 2026.
Which brings us to the final question, and it's the one that really matters now that the mystery is solved. With pretty much everyone coming back and all these massive movies on the horizon, which one are you counting down the days for?